Okay, you have two story problem worksheets. We're going to do some of the problems on each together and some for homework. We're going to start with the hardest one first. So we're going to go to the system of equation word problems. Your homework on this sheet is going to be numbers 1, 2, 4, 5, and 7. So we're going to start by crossing off 6 and 11. So let's start with 10. In number 10, it says Matt and Ming are selling fruit for a school fundraiser. You can buy a small box of oranges and large. So it says Matt sold 3 boxes of small oranges. So we're going to put 3 small and 14 large. And that's going to be a total of $203. The second person, Ming, sold 11 small and 11 large for a total of $220. Now, you can either solve this with graphing, substitution, or elimination. To me, the easiest way would be elimination. But remember, you have to have the same coefficient. So I'm going to multiply this whole problem by 11, and then I'm going to multiply this whole problem by 3, so that both of these coefficients become a 33. And in fact, if you multiply it by a -3, then you can add to eliminate. So the top equation becomes 33 small plus 14 times 11, grabbing a calculator, is 154 large. I'm going to put that so you don't think it's a 1. And then 203 times 11 is 2233. And when you multiply the second equation by -3, you get -33 small plus -33 large equals 220 times -3 is -660. All right, now you can add these two to eliminate. So through addition, this becomes nothing. 154 minus 33 is 121. And 2233 minus 660 is 1573. So to isolate the word large, you would need to divide by 121. So you get the large oranges is 13. Now, that's only half of it. We have to go back and figure out what the small oranges are. So the first equation looks a bit easier to work with. You're going to plug 13 in for small. So 3 times 13 plus 14 large, this is your letter, is 203. So 13 times 3 is 39. You would need to subtract 39 from both sides. So 14, this is a word, times the large equals 164. And then you would need to divide by 14 to solve for the word large. Okay, let's hold this whole thought here. you just solved for the large. You're going to substitute 13 into the word large into either equation. I think the first one's a little bit easier. So 3 times small plus 14 times 13 equals 203. So 3 times small plus 182 equals 203. You would need to subtract 182. So 3 times small equals 21. So the small equals 7. So you have 7 small containers and 13 large containers. All right, we're going to now do number 9. In number 9, it says, the school selling tickets to a musical. On the first day, there are 3 tickets sold to the senior citizens and 9 tickets sold to the child. That total was $75. The next thing says the school took in $67 on the second day, selling 8 senior citizens and 5 child tickets. What's the price of each ticket? So, again, we're going to solve this. Elimination for me is the easiest. You need to get one of the coefficients the same. We can try to get these the same. You'd multiply the top one by 8 because it's that number, and then you would multiply the bottom one by, if you do a negative, you can add to eliminate. So the whole top equation becomes 8 times 3, which is 24 for the seniors, plus 8 times 9, which is 72 for the kid, equals 75 times 8, which is 600. And then the new bottom one becomes negative 24 for the seniors, plus negative 15 for the kid, equals 67 times 3 is negative 201. So you would add to eliminate. Through addition, these eliminate. So 72 minus 15 is 57. And 600 minus 201 is 399. So you would divide by 57 to figure out how much the kid tickets are. And for kid, you would get 7. Now we still have to figure out adult. So you would need to plug that back into the original problem. You can either do the top or the bottom. Whichever you choose, you must get the same answer because that's how you know you did it right. So if I'm doing the top, I need a 3 for the senior, plus 9 times 7 for the kid would equal 75. So 3 for the senior, plus 9 times 7 is 63. So you would need to subtract 63 to isolate the senior. So 3 for the senior, that's a senior, would equal 12. And then you would divide by 3. So the senior price is 4. You can use X's and Y's, but you do need a key that says what is what. All right, we're going to move to number 8. It says the senior class, high school A, is going to fill some buses for a trip to New York City and some cars. So they're going to fill 1 van and 6 buses with 372 students. And then high school B is going to fill 4 vans and 12 buses with 780 students. All right, each bus carries the same, each van carries the same. How many students can a bus carry? So we only need to solve for bus. Well, we need to get the numbers of one of the letters to be the same. We can do this, and we would multiply the top by 4. So the new top one is 4 times the van, Actually, if we multiply it by -4, we can add to eliminate. So let's do that. So it's -4 times the van, and then -24 times the bus would equal 4 times 372, which is 1488. And then the other equation is just as is. 4 van plus 12 bus equals 780. That 1488 has to be a negative. Don't lose that negative. I suggest putting hearts around your negative so that you do not lose those. Alrighty, so we are adding, because these signs are opposite, we set this up to add so that that would eliminate. So now you have -12 times the bus equals, subtracting those, -708. And then to solve for the word bus, you would need to divide by -12. A number next to a letter means multiply, so to undo multiplication, you do division. And a negative divided by a negative is a positive, so we get 59 people on the bus. It doesn't, oh yeah, it does. It says how much can a van carry also. So we're going to plug that back in for bus. The top one looks a little bit easier. So 1 times the van plus 6 times, we're plugging 59 in for the bus, equals 372. So 6 times 59 is 354. So 1 times the van plus 354 equals 372. And then we want to solve for the word van, so we're going to subtract 354. And we're getting 18. So 1 van is 18. This is a 1. You could divide by 1. You don't even have to do that. Van just equals 18. We're going to go to the 2-step equation word problems. So this is just one equation, but it takes at least 2 steps to solve it. Okay, together, well, how about we do homework first? So homework is going to be numbers 1, 2, 3, I'm going to do 4 with you, and then 5 through 8. We're going to cross off 13. And then I'll do 6 problems with you. Okay. So we'll start difficult again. So number 14. It says the cooking club made some pies to sell a basketball game to raise money for new math books. The cafeteria contributed 4 pies. And then it says each pie was cut into 5 pieces, and there's 60 pieces. So we have 60 pieces as our total. So this is how many pieces of pie. Alright, so if the donation of 4 pies, that is really 20 pieces. And then it says there's 60 total, so I need to know how many other pies were sold that were cut into 5 pieces. So how many pies were sold and these pies were cut into 5 pieces. So 4 pies at 5 pieces plus who knows how many pies at 5 pieces equals 60 pieces total. So 20, I'll write this in proper order, plus 5p is 60. That's the equation that you're solving. So in order to isolate this letter, the first thing you're getting rid of is the thing the farthest away from the letter. That's the 20. So 5p equals 40. And you're going to isolate the p by dividing by 5. So p equals 8. So 8 pies is your solution. Okay, we're going to skip 13, moving to 12. It says for a field trip, 4 students rode in cars, and the rest filled 9 buses. So 4 students were in a car, 9 buses, and the total is 472 students. And it says how many on each bus. So we would need to subtract the 4 first. So in the 9 buses, there's a total of 468. Anytime you're isolating a letter, the first thing you're going to undo is the farthest thing away. That's a positive 4. That's why you need to minus it from both sides. A number next to a letter means multiply. To undo multiplication, you do division. So we're now dividing both sides by 9. So B is 52. So there's 52 students per bus. It'd be a really great idea to plug it back in and see if it works. You can try 9 times 52 plus 4, see if you get 472, and luckily you do. 11. Jill sold half of her comic books, and then she bought 16 more. She now has 36. How many did she begin with? All right, so to solve this, the first thing you get rid of is 16 through subtraction. So we have 1/2 times C equals 20. Now, whenever you have a fraction, the easiest way to undo it is to multiply by the reciprocal. What you do to one side, you need to do to the other. So over here on the left, all of this cancels. So you get C equals 40, or 40 over 1, which is the same thing. So she had 40 comic books. Number 10. How old am I if 400 reduced by 2 times my age is 244? It's always better for me to write the words out, but that just signifies one letter. Okay, so to solve for this, you need to remove the 400 first. That's the thing the farthest from the number. So negative 2 age equals negative 156. And then you're going to isolate the word age by dividing both sides by negative 2. That's how you undo multiplication. So 78 is the answer. Number 9. Aaliyah had some candy to give her 4 children. So she has some children. And first she took 10 pieces for herself. So she's going to take 10 pieces out, and then she's going to divide it by 4. First she took 10, divided it by 4. Each child received 2 pieces. That's your equation. Okay. Whenever you have a big division, the top thing is thought of to be in a parentheses as well as the denominator. So you have to undo the division first. To undo divide by 4, you would multiply by 4. What you do to one side, you need to do to the other. So over here on the left, these 4's cancel. It's kind of like a 4 over 1. So you have C minus 10 equals 8. So then, to isolate the C, you would just add 10. So C is 18. All right, the last problem together is number 4. And there's 2 different types of story problems that use consecutive and consecutive even. If you have consecutive integers, this is like for number 3. That means integers like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So consecutive integers are x, and then x plus 1, and then x plus 2, and then x plus 3. Now in 4, it says you have consecutive even numbers. So even numbers are like 2, 4, 6, 8. So these numbers are x, and then x plus 2, and then x plus 4, and then x plus 6. Because that's 2 plus 6, that's 2 plus 6 is 8, 2 plus 4 is 6, 2 plus 2 is 4. If it says consecutive odd, it's the same exact thing because your numbers are 1, 3, 5, 7, and so on. So if 1 is x, 3 is still x plus 2. 5 is still x plus 4. 7 is still x plus 6. Okay, so in 4 it says the sum of 3 consecutive even numbers. So it's x plus 2, and x plus 4. These are your 3 even numbers, and it says it adds to give 48. What's the smallest of these numbers? So what's the x? So All of this is on the same side of the equation, so you put it together just as it reads. X plus x plus x is 3x, and 2 plus 4 is 6. So now you're just going to solve this problem by first subtracting 6. So 3x equals 42, and then you would divide by 3. So x would be 3 goes into 4 once, with 1 left over, and 3 goes into 12 4 times. So your 3 consecutive integers would be 14, 16, and 18. And you could try to add those up and make sure you get 48, which you do. Okay, so again on this sheet you're doing 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, and on the other sheet you're doing 1, 2, 4, 7. So start that now. What you do not finish is homework. Good luck.